What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another Finesse Monster Activist Bull video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, continuing to show support to my channel. Always greatly appreciated. We're going to get right into this video. I see a lot of red today. Mullen stock is down about 4%. And then also AMC is down 32% at the time of this recording. We're going to get into the details of that. But first, we're going to go over this Fed meeting that's coming up on November 1st. As inflation fears are hitting harder, it says the Federal Reserve pricing now suggests a 52% chance of a hike at the November 1st meeting, up from 40% earlier in the week. The jump comes after a surprisingly strong ISM services survey showed an acceleration in August, including in prices paid. The index rose to 54.5 from 52.5, while the pricing measure hit 58.9 from 56.8. And the market is grappling how high Fed rates will go and how long it will stay. Here's a heat map of the most active tickers out there today. We see a lot of red. We also have Tesla down negative 2.37% at the time of this recording, as well as Apple, Google, and Amazon being down. The main segment, and which we're going to get into here shortly in this video, is going to be how Mullen Automotive is going to be seeking a request for an appeal so that they can get compliance or at least a 180-day extension. We're going to get into that here shortly, but before I do that, let's talk about why AMC is down 32%. As I said, inflation is hitting even harder now, and with that being said, AMC just entered an equity distribution agreement. The stock is falling. Today it's down 32% at the time of this recording, and it says AMC shares entertainment tumbled after the company said it has entered an agreement to sell up to 40 million shares of Class A common stock through an at-the-market offering program. And this is coming after the company did a 1-for-10 reverse stock split back towards the middle of August. And those that follow my channel know that I talk about reverse stock split not being a good thing for retail investors. It only helps the shorts continue to drive down the stock price of the company. With this equity distribution agreement, the company intends to use the net proceeds, if any, for the sale of the common stock pursuant to the equity distribution agreement to bolster liquidity, to repay, refinance, redeem, or repurchase its existing indebtedness, including expenses accrued, etc., etc. So it looks as though the company is trying to raise cash ahead of the Fed raising more rates in order to efficiently continue operations, but in the short term, it is very dilutive to shareholders. And you can tell that by what's happening here in the stock price. Reverse splits, selling shares, or even issuing new shares are ways that can leave the stock price looking like this. Most holders in AMC have been in since pre-pandemic or during the pandemic when they had to squeeze. And all of these occurrences, in my opinion, as well as the ape conversion, has diluted the shareholders and brought the stock down to exactly where it was during the pandemic. Now let's head over to Mullen Automotive stock, currently trading at around 47 cents per share after 2 reverse stock splits in 2023. It says if compliance cannot be demonstrated by September 5th, 2023, staff will provide written notification that the company's securities will be delisted. At that time, the company may appeal staff's determination to a hearing panel. And this is what I think the next step is for Mullen Automotive, and like they say, could be the best choice for Mullen to request an appeal to get NASDAQ to make that determination for compliance or an extension, etc. And they also say down below, while NASDAQ's hearing panel decides on the outcome, Mullen stock should remain listed on the exchange, so pretty much buying more time. Now let's go over a few things about the hearing panel procedures as well as the appeal for Mullen Automotive. In case you are not able to visually see what's on my screen and follow along, I'll be reading the highlighted text off of a separate screen for you, as well as I highly recommend you taking some time to go check out the listing center for NASDAQ and look through Rule 5800 to 5830, and hopefully you can get more clarification on listing requirements and more. A few things to know about the composition of the hearings panel is that each hearing is presided over by at least 2 hearings panel members, except as provided in Rule 5815. Also, the scope of the hearings panel discretion covers things such as granting a company an exception to the continued listing standards for a period not to exceed 180 days from the date of staff delisting determination with respect to the deficiency for which the exception is granted. They can also suspend and delist the company's securities. When the hearings panel review is of a deficiency related to continued listing standards, the hearings panel may, where it deems appropriate, do some of these things I just mentioned. Now back to the highlighted section, because we know Mullen is supposed to be awaiting a Form 25 notification of delisted since they're not in compliance. The highlighted says, if the panel issues a decision to delist the company's securities, the hearings department will immediately take action to suspend trading of the securities unless the decision specifies to the contrary. If the company does not appeal a decision to delist and the listing council does not call the matter for review or withdraws its call for review, NASDAQ will follow the procedures described in Rule 5830 to submit an application form 25 to the SEC to strike the security from listing. So again, I think it would be in the best interest for Mullen Automotive to go for this appeal, get some more time, and also use these buyback shares, buy up some stock at this cheap price. Announcing an appeal against delisting is a PR on its own. That should be a positive thing for the company. It shows that they still are confident in what Mullen has going forward, and they are doing what they can to keep the stock listed. Now, the hearings panel deadlock is when the hearings department can't make a decision on Mullen Automotive, whether they want to delist them, suspend them, or not. There could possibly also be another hearing in the works, which could buy Mullen Automotive more time, and then there's no fee for new hearings. And also, one thing to keep in mind, I'm reading this highlighted section right here if you can't see it. It says disclosure of written notice of staff determination requires that a company make a public announcement by filing a Form 8K where required by SEC rules, or by issuing a press release disclosing the receipt of a notice that the company does not meet a listing standard set forth by in the Rule 5000 series, a staff delisting determination to limit or prohibit continued listing of the company's securities under Rule 5810. So basically, Mullen has to either announce on press release or an 8K in receipt of that Form 25, which is that letter of notification from NASDAQ that they are going to possibly be delisted. Just has to be publicly announced, and what their moves going forward, their plans of action to help meet these deficiencies. So that's all I got for this video. Hope y'all find this information valuable. Do you think Mullen Automotive will follow suit and do this appeal process to fight and stay listed on the NASDAQ? And like I said before, I highly recommend you going back to NASDAQ Listing Center and looking through Rule 5800 and down to get a better understanding of everything. Appreciate you all for watching. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. I will catch you in the next video. I'm gone.